What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Blvd of Champions Podcast, hosted by yours truly, David Torrance. I'm an author, strength coach, and entrepreneur, just trying to build my legacy. Let's get into it.
Hey, look, used to believe in none, now I believe in some. I believe that everything happens for a reason.
And our quote of the day comes from Proverbs 19:21. The quote says, "Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails." Thank you to everyone who's coming back and checking out the Blvd of Champions Podcast. I have a special guest with me today, Broward County Lauderdale raised. Happy to say that. We have Shamarly, who's a 23-year-old marketing mogul, helping online businesses turn their followers into paid clients. I know his brother, his whole family's dope. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Whole family's dope. Brother, professional athlete, older brother, businessman, father, leader in the community, mother, does great things. Following the footsteps of the family, man. Thank you for being here, man.
I appreciate you having me on the show and the podcast as well.
Yeah, man, no problem. So, all right, we're gonna start you off with some quick questions, just to kind of lighten the mood. So, I'm gonna ask you 3 random questions. They're kind of like either or. So, the first for either or is soccer or basketball?
I say soccer.
Soccer?
Soccer.
Okay, because ask your brother, because he said y'all play every sport.
No, I mean,
is that true?
Yeah, like I played every sport in high school. I played every sport. We started off playing soccer though.
Okay.
So I played soccer all the way up till I was about 13. And then eventually going in middle school, coaches wanted us to play different sports.
Yeah.
Play different sports, and then high school, same thing. So eventually ventured off to different things.
Shamir is a basketball guy. Schneider is a soccer guy. So I guess soccer would be yours too then.
Well, me personally, I played football and track, and I actually ran track.
Where? What school did you go to?
Well, actually, I went to about 3 different high schools. So I went to Cold Springs High School my 9th grade year. Got you. Then kind of got in a little trouble, etc. Whatever the case was. Actually went to Miami Christian, which Shamir graduated from that school.
Okay,
so
that's a big. Hold on, distance-wise, that's different. You got Coral Springs, then you go all the way to Miami.
Yes. It was actually all the way in Hialeah, so about 45-minute drive.
Okay.
But we used to take the train back because we played basketball there.
Got you.
Wouldn't get home till around like 1 or 2 in the morning. Like on weekdays, it was
late.
A whole year of waking up early 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like carpooling with like one of our a guy who worked there at the school actually.
Okay, that's
so we're kind of blessed.
A blessing.
Go with him, but hey, it was tough.
And then what's the last school you went to? You said 3, so that's 2.
Oh, and then was there for a year. Came down, went to JP Terravella. And
I graduated from Terravella High School.
Go
Trojans!
What year?
2012.
2012.
Yeah, I graduated 2012.
Okay.
So you were what grade? Where did you graduate high school?
2015.
Okay, so you weren't there when I was there.
Nah.
If you were,
I was there for like a year and a half.
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah, I graduated from Terravella. It wasn't the greatest high school.
Nah.
If you're from Broward, you know Terravella isn't one of those schools people brag about.
I'm not gonna lie, it did keep me out of trouble though.
Hey, there we go. So we got some positive out of it. All right.
That's all that matters.
All right, so the next question. I'm asking because we talked about this before we got on camera. If you're at home and you know you're about to watch YouTube, are we watching a YouTube video of Michael Ty or E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher? You had to pick between the 2.
What's the occasion? What's the day? Like how I'm feeling.
It's a Monday,
but like what I'm going through though, like
I don't know. That's a hard one. Okay,
because
so
that's the thing. Like I need to get my inspiration from whatever speaker that is relating to my issue, my problem at the time.
Does the time of the day matter? Does the time of the day matter?
Not
if it's
really.
in the morning, no. Okay.
Nah, I mean,
so,
like you can get inspiration all day long.
That's true.
To be honest.
So I'm gonna assume if you're going through some like if you just having a low energy day, you're probably gonna listen to E.T.
Oh yeah. You put that fire.
Yes, exactly.
That's when you talk.
Hey, if you don't know who E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher is, check him out. If you're going through maybe some family stuff, some relationship stuff, or spiritual, I'm assuming you're gonna listen to Michael Todd.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Or Dr. Miles Monroe.
I don't know who that Dr. Miles. All right, I gotta put that on my list. Okay, I got you. Well, I read the book when we talked about this by Michael Todd called Relationship Goals, which is a great book. Actually, I'll check it out. I know you just bought it, right?
Oh yeah.
Dope. Okay, last one. This is a funny one, I think. Red velvet cake or carrot cake? Yes, I got him on one. That's a hard one.
It's tough. I mean, I like both, but I'm not gonna lie though. Like eating a whole entire cake of it, I'd say velvet.
Red velvet, okay.
Because I
I'm
mean,
picking
I
red
get.
velvet too.
I mean, like the little, what is it, peanuts or?
Yeah, the pecans.
It's good a little bit, but like when I eat too much of it, I'm good.
I got you. No, I totally feel where you're coming from. I usually pick. I know red velvet cake is my favorite. I think my last guest picked carrot cake actually. So one of the topics, man, I want to speak about is something you kind of hinted towards the other day was spiritual growth. And coincidentally, our quote from the day came from the Bible. Typically, the quotes that I have are from leaders, entrepreneurs, or people in the world that's impacted us in a positive way. But I love the fact that you picked the Bible verse because it's so unique, and I think it speaks towards who you are and what you stand for. So I would like to ask you, man, like where did your spiritual growth start? And as someone who's in that, I know how fulfilling it is, but tell me, what has it done for you?
So I actually grew up in a Christian family. You know, always was around the word. The only difference is for me, people think that growing up in a Christian family that you automatically supposed to be perfect, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Struggled with being in trouble all my life, really growing up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I've always had the gospel around me, but I mean, as I said, last year is when I actually really started taking my walk a lot more serious. And that goes from a lot of my previous situations I've been through, getting in trouble and things like that. It's just everything for me is just growth. Like this year, everything is just growth season. So, like it really started me growing up, but I never really took it serious as I said until life really hit me and I had no choice but to wake up and really
got you.
You know, so
I feel that I often tell people, because I know you don't know this, but my dad's a pastor. Yeah, so I'm a PK, so I grew up, so I know exactly where you're coming from.
As well,
I know. That's what I'm saying. That so that's why me and your brother connect so cool, because we have similar backgrounds, right? We're from North Lauderdale too,
of course.
And you met my dad, so you probably wouldn't know that about him.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
cool man too. He's cool,
exactly.
Real dope, real dope.
So I totally understand where you're coming from, because the funny thing is when you grow up in a religious household, oftentimes like your walk is there because your parents are pushing you towards that. And then sometimes for me, at least personally, when I got older, I kind of was like, I'm stepping away from this, I'm going to college, I'm about to do my thing and be a part of the world. But you realize once you get deeper in life, you kind of always retreat back to the roots, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And I found myself doing that, and my biggest blessings have come when I made that change. I'm not sure if that's been the same for you, has it?
The same story, same journey. Like that's why I realized going is like, once I was on the wrong path and doing whatever I really wanted to do, it's like I started seeing things going wrong, and then I put myself back in focus, and you know, things started working in His blessing. So
yeah, I know, I feel you. So I checked out your social media, and I know one of the things you're talking about was soul ties, and coincidentally, Michael Todd talks about it in his book, so you're gonna really like that when he speaks about that. Tell me, how has your spiritual journey changed how you view dating and relationships?
Yeah, I see it's a lot more to it than what the current society and culture makes it seem out to be. You know, and it like I already know I might get a little backlash from it, etc. Hearing it, but it's like it's the reality. You know, this world is created based off of principles. You know what I'm saying? And like standards, how things should be, etc. And it's like once you go past standards, you know, that's the one thing that never changes. It's always going to be true. So it's like that's why I feel like. Just going through a lot of experiences as well too, I'm seeing it to where, you know, I'm seeing how much more real it is, you know, and dealing with different people, not thinking anything like that, and just going through the motions. But you know, spiritually, it's taking a big toll on you, and like you're really not being able to sleep, etc. Like all that stuff is dealing with real soul ties, and we don't really see it because we're really in the real world right now. You know what I'm saying? But not looking in the spiritual aspect to how it's hurting us.
You know, one thing that I realized is that because of our phones, we've become so disconnected to the real connections that we actually have in life, right? So what I mean by that is like we may be so intertwined in what we're doing on social media, we don't realize all the women we're talking to and allowing ourselves to be involved to are connected to us, but we're just so disconnected because we're connected to her. It's like a weird paradox. You know what I'm saying? That affects everything. Yeah. And even for me, that's why I read Relationship Goals by Michael Todd, because man, I had just got out of a relationship. I didn't know what love meant for me anymore. I didn't know what I wanted it to look like. So I read a couple books. I read the book by Michael Todd, and I read a book by Bell Hooks called All About Love. And those books changed my life, bro. And not only that, bro, it made me love my family more. And that's why I tell girls now. It's really weird. I say, honestly, right now, I'm just focusing on how to love my mother better, how to love my dad better, how to be a better brother. Those are the most
important connections to have in life too.
Yeah.
The strongest, because that's never gonna fail. Like that's never gonna fail.
That's bread and butter. Bond. And I think we both understand because we come from such strong families that are interconnected. You know what I mean? I don't know about you, but like my mom and dad are like the foundation for how I view love. And because I have the privilege, similar to you, is coming from a 2-parent household. A lot of black men don't have that, and it is a privilege when you kind of think about it.
Definitely,
and it's a blessing when you grow up and they still together. Right? It's even better because
they still dealing with each other.
Yeah,
you know, BS, bro.
yeah. Because I know a lot of my homeboys, they come from single households. You know what I mean? And a lot of times I'm like, damn, like I really got it good. And more than that, like I would hate to take my family for granted because like they do so much for even now. Like we're in my dad's business, like we're in our family business shop right now recording this podcast, and that means a lot. You know what I mean? And similar to you, I want you to tell me about that too. How does it feel not only to be a businessman and mogul, but to like have that intertwined with your family so that you're growing your family and generational wealth as well? How does that feel?
Oh yeah, that feels amazing. I mean, to be honest, it's unbelievable to even think it because of just how things have transitioned so much in life with us. But I mean, it feels amazing knowing that, okay, you know, like we all can come together and still help build like a legacy the same way that you're doing with your family as well too. You know, it's everything is going right back in the same foundation and it's gonna multiply to bring out more. So it's definitely been a blessing though.
No. Tell me what because you said something else I've heard you speak about is gifts. And I want to ask you, do you feel like there's a difference between gifts and skills?
I'll put it this way. I feel like a gift, not so I feel like this is what gift is. Like we're created with the gift inside of us. Like anything in this world, you know what I'm saying? A tree, whatever it is. Like when you see a big tree, right? You'll see that the gift isn't at your tree, it's inside of it, which is the seed, the small little seed. So everything that's created, everything's inside of us. So the way that I look at it is the gift is always going to be something that you can never have to teach something. So I can't, like, for example, like you have a gift, I can't teach you your gift because you're already born with it.
Yeah.
A skill, I feel like a skill will come after you figure out your gift.
Gotcha.
Right? Or if not, you can just learn a skill. And that could not be your gift, but you just skilled. Like I know, like I do a lot of different trades. I'm skilled at them, but I'm not, that's not, a lot of them are my gifts.
But if anything, they probably complement your gift.
But it can complement my gift.
Yeah.
Correct. So I feel like it goes hand in hand though.
Yeah. I often tell people like when you can align your gift with your skills, when you become powerful, like very, very powerful. And do you feel like that has helped you in your business, like aligning your skills and your gifts? Because when you say you have many trades, like talk about that. Like what specific things are those, and how has it helped you with your gift, or how has it helped you in your business?
Well, my specific trade, I've realized that every single business needs it. Every single person needs it because it's marketing. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing is, that's what I'm doing now currently. But before, I started off with photography, videos, flyers, pretty much the art industry. But then I never realized how it could help other people as well too.
Gotcha.
Because people wanted to. I've always had a gift of connecting with people. You know what I'm saying? So I could find people. So I always thought it was okay. Well, how can I put this in the business aspect and really make it work? And I realized marketing is something that everybody needs, and I intertwine that into the family business as well too.
Yeah. So is that what QG management is?
Quality guest management. Yes. Definitely.
So tell us about QG management. What is it? What is it that you do? How did you start? How did you come up with it? Because I really want the people to learn about you, but also see how great you are at what you do.
Yeah. So pretty much, Quality Guest Management is a brand management company.
Okay.
So we specialize in helping small businesses, but not only small businesses, but just businesses in general, or aspiring entrepreneurs grow their brand or excel in life as well too. Because I look at it as everything is personal development. Gotcha. No matter in the business, personal world, everything has to be managed. And like that's why I always really quote back to the spiritual portion of it too, from how everything was created. We're created to manage, in a sense, the resources that we have on this world as well too. So we're, in a sense, managers of this world. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like how you tie that together.
So I've realized if that's how life works, that's how it works in business too, in some type of aspects. Now I realize everything needs to be managed, structured, etc. So and a lot of people need help to fund that, because any business requires people. People, like any business you have to have people come into it in order for it to profit, no matter what business.
So how does one turn, for example, a social media follower into a client?
From a follower into a client. So pretty much all it is building that personal rapport with each person. Okay. The same way that you would in person, right? Imagine when you give somebody a compliment, or like you get somebody's attention. That's how you want to figure out, because I always tell people, especially having an online industry, you have so many competitions. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially being in a lucrative business, and, the bottom is crowded all the time. So you want to realize, how can I get to the top? How can I be different than the next business owner, to where I have more value, in my products or in my service, to where I can, so once you understanding that with people, and then you're building that rapport and letting them know what the value is coming with, etc. You're building that, in a sense, friendship, and that's what you want in business. You want, especially on social media, imagine you're talking to people that you don't know.
Yeah. And people buy from who they know.
Correct. So now it's much harder, because you have to kind of, in a sense, convince yourself, but business owners feel like they have to convince themselves. You don't have to. If you know that your business is quality, your service, etc., you never have to sell the product. You sell yourself. If they like you, and I've realized that from just influencers in general, people pay to see their lives, to see their shows, etc., because they have influence. As long as you have influence and people like you, no matter what you do, they're gonna invest in you. Like, they're gonna buy from you because they like who you are.
Yeah.
So now you have a follower, but now you've turned them into a paid client, because you've built that rapport, and now that they're following you or they like you, they're just gonna support you because of who you are. But also, you understand, you have to show the love first. Because I realized in life, whatever you want, you have to give out as well too. So it's like, once you show the love first, and then they reciprocate, now you've built that connection and that trust. Now you guys are kind of, in a sense, friends, right? Yeah. Have that friendship. But now that you're friends, whatever you do, you can slightly, in a sense, start to make the sale, because they're gonna like you already.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
So what do you feel like is the one? What are some of the mistakes you see people make when they're going about social media, using that as a tool for marketing? Like, do you think some people don't focus enough on social media? What's your opinion on that?
I feel like people have that get rich quick scheme. You know what I'm saying? To where they just want to get in real fast and start making sales, which but you want to focus on, how can I get people to, or how can I cater to a certain industry, or how can I cater to the people that I'm giving this product or service to. That's what's important. It's not about us, it's about them.
Yeah. When they're trying to use their social media for their business, like, what mistakes do you see people make? Or they're not on it enough? Is it, because like for me, I know one of the things I was making was, I wasn't engaging with my followers enough, like at all. Like, I post stuff, I post on my story, but that's it. I wouldn't, and that throws off the algorithm too, right? That doesn't help. Also, that's another thing I want to talk about. How do you feel about the Instagram algorithm, and do you feel like there's ways around marketing other than Instagram? I have a very big opinion on that, and I want to hear what you think about my opinion on it.
So are you talking about just on social media or just in general?
Let's go out with algorithms on because they're all kind of similar. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Like the more you are active, so forth, the more your stuff pops up on people's feeds. So how do you feel about that? And is there a way around it? Because I know for me at first that was a big issue that I had.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways around it. I know a lot of celebrities pay companies, and they basically have like different pages and things like that, and they basically just there's like a lot of softwares to where you can kind of schedule all your posts as well too.
Yeah.
So you're not really on yourself, but the posts are continued scheduling. Now
I pay somebody to run my social media now because I just don't have time to do it.
Yeah, like even that too. You know, as long as they're engaging, etc., like as many times a day and getting around it, you're definitely gonna get people.
Got you. So
definitely get that attention.
What is your favorite form of social media? Like what do you like to do your market? Is it Instagram? Is it outside? Or actually, we're gonna come back to that. I want to tell you my opinion on social media. So I think that it is very important for businesses to have ways to market to their customers other than social media. I feel like when you use social media as your primary form of marketing, you're putting yourself at a very low ratio to be successful. So for me, when I learned that, I started I started something that allowed me to have access to my followers and clients without social media, because the algorithm stops them for seeing anything that I may put out. For example, I have a podcast. I want 2,000 of my followers to see them, but the algorithm hurts me, only 150 sees it. So my question to myself was, well, how the hell can I circumvent that algorithm and just get straight to my people? And that's where I feel like having email marketing, gathering data, because
that's definitely important too.
And I think that's the thing that people don't really do or take advantage of, is collecting data, because that is really where
that's what you need.
That is what you need. And that's where the money is truly in, because you control you control your marketing, right? You're not leaving it up to an algorithm to be in your favor, or the amount of clicks and comments that you make.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm not, like, the way I do marketing myself as well too sometimes is organic marketing.
Like guerrilla marketing?
Correct. So it's like I build personal reports for each person because I look more at value, not just giving information, because you could do it that way, but then you will see less responses. Because people aren't robots, they have feelings. And then imagine if you had the same way that especially, let's say, real life, like you're trying to holler at a feet, like probably 50 different type of females the same exact way. You think you're going to connect with all of them?
Nah, you definitely not.
Because they're different personalities, different people, etc. It's the same exact way, you know, and like I feel like honesty depends on the industry that you're in as well too. Because in my industry, I have most of my, and that's how it's been working for me, is that I've found it more easier for me to do it online, because with online I have different business pages. I can fund different traffics. Now, in person is always important too, because you have people that aren't online as well too.
Yeah.
But I feel like it has to be balanced though. You have to have the online presence and the like brick and mortar is called, I think.
Yeah.
But same time, you have to see what's working for you, because if you see, okay, social media is not working. Like for example, I was working with a coin laundry company, helping her with marketing. And I realized doing the flyers were a lot more effective, because in the area that we were at and the type of audience that was coming in, they were on social media.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And even having a social media, I mean, I'm looking around at my competitors, which is important. I'm looking at, do they have a social media and what do they use it for? And I see what it is. It's like if you have different services, but if you don't have different services like the fold and dry, etc., then you have a regular, you know, so like you have to do it through, how you call it, flyers.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get more of that audience that are not online, so it works better for them that way. But I feel like having both of the presences is good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you can make it work however people are coming in, however you can draw people in. That's all that matters. And that's marketing.
Yeah, that's the goal, right? As long as you're bringing people in and making that connection, that gives you the potential for a sale. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters. What are one or two lessons that you've taken away from the quarantine? One on a personal level and then one on the business level.
So
I call it the great pause, by the way. I call the quarantine the great pause.
I could definitely, it definitely is though. Personal level, it helped me grow. I had a lot of time to really learn new different trades, and a lot of people have not taken advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? Because what I was read is that millionaires are made in times of crisis. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
And
you're preaching
some of the
right
best
now.
ideas, you know. So especially right now, like things may not be good now, but once things go back to normal, start picking up, you want to at least have, as you said, collected the data, the people.
Yes.
You know, and if you don't, you're just trying to jump in, and then guess what? Your business could have been jump starting because things are back to normal, and then you're trying to play catch up.
Yeah, and now you have FOMO, fear of missing out, and that happens a lot. I think that's a big key that I want us to stop really quick and make sure everyone understands that, man, like he said, millionaires and billionaires are made in times of crisis. This is where creative ideas, this is where a shift of wealth happens the most on every level, every sector, because there's always that person who's been grinding, waiting for an opportunity to come up. You know what I mean? They're waiting for these companies or their competitors to kind of go to sleep and relax while they've been up on juice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Getting ready for this moment. And
Definitely.
I feel like the next few years are really going to show the fruits of people's labor.
True.
If you've been working.
True.
And then for those who haven't, I think those are the ones that are going to get left behind. And it's unfortunate, but I know the people I know, I want them to eat. You know what I mean? And I think it's important that we all do. And that's why I try to have people who are from where I'm from, because, you know, I tell people all the time, my last guest from North Lauderdale too, not too many of us get to make it out of South Florida or out of Lauderdale. And many of us, when we do come back, we ain't coming back for good reasons. And when we do, we ain't really doing much. So it's great to see someone, because you're younger than me. You know what I mean? It's great to see someone like yourself doing great things in the city he grew up in, because typically people want to go off and just do their own thing. But the fact that you involved your family in it, man, like that's another level of success that isn't monetized, but is very important. Like that has to be a standard.
Legacy, yeah.
Yeah, legacy has to be a standard. I don't think legacy is a big enough standard for us, because if it was, and I mean as a community, I don't mean you and me specifically. As a community, I don't think it is, because if it is, I feel like we will see more kids investing time in their family business.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to trying to start their own business and spending all their energy, you know what I mean, trying to build.
To be honest, it's
by
leverage.
themselves.
It's leverage. It's like once you, and that's all everyone needs in life. And the problem is, I feel like, is that everyone wants to be self-made. Self-made this, I'm self-made that. It's like getting on my own. I don't need help.
Out the mud, right?
But then again, it's like you look at all the biggest businesses in this world. They started off with partners, you know, because you gotta start off with someone to get some help, and then you slowly branch off on your own.
Yeah.
Use a platform that's given to you. If you have a platform, use it.
Yeah.
And if people say, like, listen, you have an advantage. You have an advantage, take that advantage, run with it. And then slowly, once you learn the industry, etc., or good enough to be stable, etc., go off to your own. Or if you have a side, etc., still build it with or integrate it with the business that you have as well.
Yeah, like you're doing, like leverage. You have your own personal business that you've integrated with your family business.
Definitely.
And this is the thing though, like, and that's why I love to hear you say, because I think something that also we need to make sure we acknowledge is that you realize and understand my family gifts are important to be taken advantage of as well for our greater family, right? Because you said we all have a gift.
Definitely.
Some that we're all born with. And guess what? Our family have gifts. Our mom, our dad, the little sister, the brother, they all have gifts. And when we see the value in that, and we see them as just family, and see them as, you know, growth for our kids, things change. And especially when you put plans to action, you know what I mean? And I think that's
that
the beautiful
generational
thing.
wealth. That's all it is.
Yeah, but this is my little thing. I always say you have to build generational love before you build generational wealth. Because I think that's the issue that a lot of people make. And I use this analogy, like it's hard to build that extra stream of income when you live in a house where you don't even feel loved or there's no love. Because you don't have the emotional stability to do anything. Because your energy is going to be what? Low. So that's why I always tell people, you got to have an environment that's conducive to nourishment. Right, and what does that look like? Has to be love, especially if it's at home. Because we can have a house, but it doesn't mean it's a home. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you got to make that shift and change. Because you know what I mean. And for me, I tell people moving back to South Florida changed my life, because living in Orlando, I had houses I was staying at.
Yeah,
but coming
man.
back home,
Orlando,
I had a home.
Orlando's a journey now. Hey,
Orlando get you caught up.
Hey, turned up a little bit.
Orlando will get you out of your ways real quick, for real.
But you know, like as I said, just experiencing different, you know, like parts in life, different levels and things like that. Like you really start to see life differently, you know.
Yeah.
So
now you got the chance to leave home, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Now, what was that like?
As I said, it was a little turn up.
Were you in Orlando?
Yeah, I was in Orlando for 2 years.
Were you living with your brother or were you doing your own thing?
Nah, so like we actually well, I went up first. I was staying with my brother like half of the year for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, taking over his space for a little bit on the couch, whatever.
Yeah.
Out. But I was also doing my side hustles on the side, trying to build connections.
The humble beginnings.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, I was going up there for college in a sense for my peoples, but really it's like, I just want to get out the house,
Did you
man.
finish school?
I actually didn't finish, man.
But you're still a marketing mogul. You've been featured as a top 300 entrepreneur in magazine. Like, now, we're going to get on that. Continue. We're going to get on that because that's going to be the last part we touch on.
Definitely. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I always looked at life to wherever there's people in this opportunity, I'm gonna go ahead and look at it. You know what I'm saying? Go at it, etc. So it's like I seen Orlando as entrepreneur land up there. It's entrepreneur land.
It is,
everybody's
man.
doing so. That's why. I mean, although my brother was up there already, I had an opportunity to stay with them. I didn't have to pay rent, etc. But then later on, I mean, we got our own apartment, etc. You know, going out and it was real good. It was real good. But I mean, whew. Had a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
Fun.
Well, that's good.
But connections,
that's a part of life, though, having fun. Though.
Yeah.
So let's not make. I don't want us to make it seem like it's a bad thing because I mean, we as hard as we work, we gotta play.
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, I know going over there. I mean, I was in heavy debt over there in Orlando. You know what I'm saying? Went through bad breakup first, then just used my money. I quit my job and everything.
Yeah.
My mental state was off. Mental state was off. So, you know, although I was doing business over there and stuff, my personal mental state was off.
Yeah.
Being on your own is a different feel now. It's like, are you on your own, do whatever. And it's like I wasn't really thinking. I had to really shift my mindset. You know, so.
Well, like you said about your other brother, you got a story though. You got a story to tell, and you never know who's waiting to be inspired by you.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? We don't know who's gonna watch this. Who's gonna see this, right? There may be somebody out there who's struggling with, should I go to school? Should I pursue, my gift? And they may be fearful, but they hear you speak and they see your success, and they may be from North Lauderdale, and they may see themselves in you.
Definitely.
And now, what does that do for him and his family? You know what I mean? So that's the cool part, man. And I encourage you, if you're not doing it, tell more people your story. Tell more people who you are, because especially in this area, man. Like every time I see a little kid, I'm always trying to have a conversation because I got tattoos. I look just like them, but I've been able to attain something that they probably want. You know what I mean?
It's all about that inspiration on people, man, and like changing lives. That's all it is. Like we created to make a difference in the world and like help each other. You know what I'm saying? So gotta uplift, man.
Yeah.
Especially how things going on right now.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%,
bro. It's crazy. But
it is. So a couple of things I want to touch on. So. Tell me how did you feel like there was an expectation on you to go to college and finish college? Because I know your brother did, and I know Schneider, he's a professional athlete, so it's a little bit different for him. I know you graduated high school still, but did you feel like there was pressure on you at a point of time for you to do the traditional route, though you have found success untraditionally, quote unquote?
That's definitely what it was. And growing up in a Caribbean household, more importantly, Haitian household, it's like go to college, you know, and it, now that they're business owners are seeing now what I was talking about years ago, but I understand though, like before I never did, I understand now what their main intentions are, you know. They came here and, you know, and I understand how they came here, you know, like my dad came when he was about 16 with only $300 in his pocket, nothing. And he came being an orphan, so I don't know my grandma or my grandpa. They died when my dad was a kid, and then my auntie died when my uncle took my dad in, and then was coming back for her, and she was never found. So
got you. Wow.
Growing up, you know, come from a real humble family as well too, based off of. So I appreciate life a whole lot more when it comes down to like that aspect of everything as well.
Got you.
The expectations was just like, okay, you gotta finish, or if not, I'm not gonna help you, this and that, because I want you to finish. It's like, all right, you know what? went there, but just realized like for me, what I wanted to do, I wanted to take a different route. That's it.
Yeah.
Education, I'm big on education. But there's different ways there's different routes for people to take that depending on their journey and what they want to do as well.
And school and education are two different things. You know, you don't have to go to school to educate yourself. And I think a lot of us will probably go further in life if we care more about education than we did about school.
See, and that's the thing. Everything that I'm doing now within the businesses, I've never went to school for it. Yeah. I've schooled myself, of course. I learned from people that are millionaires,
so
etc.
You educated yourself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I had to educate myself, and I still am every single day because I'm never going to know everything.
Yeah,
you know?
I got you. So last question before we end things. What is in store for the future for you? Like, what things do you have coming up, and what things are you looking forward to?
Yeah, so I'm looking for a lot 2020, man. The end of this year, got about a few months left.
Yeah.
Right now I'm actually doing a women's social, women of color social, October 3rd. It's gonna be a business social event.
We're going to have this episode before then, so we're going to definitely make sure we get. Tell us about that.
And it's definitely in North Lauderdale.
Wait, start over again. You're having a black woman, say it again?
Woman of, I didn't say black woman because everyone's divided, but woman of color.
Woman of color.
Social event. So it's going to be, you know, vendors, a vibe, a social. I want women, aspiring business owners, females in general, whatever it is. I want to restore generational wealth back within the community as well, too. You know, I started it for Broward County, but especially for women in Queens, because I feel like even less, I don't want to jump on the Tory Lanez and Megan Stallion, you know, what's going on, but a black woman needs to be protected, you know what I'm saying? And we're not seeing that right now in culture, and you're not seeing it really in the real world as well, too. So, hey, I'm doing it for the Queens, man.
That's Queens. That's what's up. So October 3rd,
2020.
October 3rd, 2020. We got the Women of Color social event.
Yes.
All right.
So the Instagram is WOC social event. So Women of Color social event.
Dope. All right, man. I look forward to that. So to end the show, you know I like to close the show out with a song that you may or may not know. This song, as it's tuning in, is called Unruly Prayer by Papa Khan. As the song comes in, don't forget to share, subscribe, like, click the bell.
Gotta like and gotta subscribe. It's a must. It's a must.
Yeah, it is a must.
It's
it
great
helps
content
with the algorithm.
Hey, listen, it's great content coming soon too as well too on his end. You know, this is just a little warm up, but listen, we got big things coming. Trust me.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you again for coming, showing love. It's been a blast, man.
Thanks for
We're gonna do this again. Hopefully, I can have all three of y'all, the three brothers. That would be a vibe.
It's a movie, man. It's a movie.
We're gonna make that happen, man. But peace out. Blvd of Champions Podcast.
Y'all follow me on Instagram. Quality Gates, QUALITYGATES.
And wave your wrists at 'em. Before I turned 21, I've been savage. The dope fiends I'm cool with, they been at it. This glow I got, I've been had it. Niggas think they rosters, they first time watching shadows. Spot you like binoculars, pull up fresher than Banaka.